Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Cop Council. How are we all? Hopefully, all of you are having a fantastic day from wherever you are around the world. And welcome to our post-match reaction to what was probably the best game of the season so far in terms of quality, I would say, anyway. In of course, Manchester City 2, Liverpool 2, or Liverpool 2, Man City 2, of course. And yeah, welcome to the post-match show. What a freaking game that was, especially from a certain Egyptian king. Thought he had an excellent game. Of course, just a whole load of chaos in the game itself, and of course we'll be talking about big points in the game, and of course all the little ones as well. But guys, like I do say always, please hit that subscribe button if you're new to the Cup Council. Also as well, please hit that hit like button. That's follow on Twitch if you're watching on Twitch. As well, and yeah, hopefully all of you are having a fantastic day. Gary says Salah's goal was footballing porn. Pay him the money, Liverpool, and win the league. Connor, yeah, plain and simple, isn't it, Gary? Just do that for Mo, and we'll win the league. But no, I absolutely agree. It was football pornography at its finest, mate. Doug's in saying what a game, and yeah, what a game it was. Look, that's not hide away from the facts. To be fair, I've put things to talk about, and the first thing I want us to talk about is City took us apart in the first half, and let's be honest, they did. I thought Liverpool were fantastic for the first 10-15 minutes, and then from there until half time, I thought City took us apart, and they did. Liverpool looked so fatigued in that first half. It was shocking to watch, I would say. I think, look, we've all been, hyping ourselves up for this game. Of course, coming off Brentford draw and then the Porto win. We were like, okay, City, if we beat City, we're back top of the league. And, we, of course, stay undefeated in that. But the whole team just looked fatigued. I was watching, Jordan Henderson, he looked very fatigued at times in that first half. And, not only him, the whole midfield, even the front three, looking, pretty shocked. And yeah, I don't think Liverpool for me didn't have an answer in that first half. I don't know whether or not if that's me just saying that or what, but I think Liverpool, City, to be fair to them, brought the game to Liverpool. And guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. But I did personally think that City were unlucky not to get a goal in that first half as well. If it wasn't for Alisson Becker and the likes of Joel Matip and Virgil van Dijk, I thought them three in particular in that first period really kept Liverpool in the game. Certainly Alisson Becker, I thought, look, he had that nervy kick out, didn't he? And look, I don't think it created a chance for City, but look, of course, the nerves were very high at one stage in the game, and look, Ali did fantastically well. Look at the game last year where he made like three mistakes that cost us, 3 goals. So, for me, best keeper in the world, isn't he, really? And when we need him most, he's there as Mr. Reliable anyway. But Gary said Liverpool need a striker who will score 40 goals a season. Erling Haaland, anyone? Yeah, that is the big thing, of course, with that. But guys, let me know your thoughts. Keep commenting. Make actually as well, is the audio okay? Of course, I was meant to be going on a show with Owen from Cop On, but sadly my earphones are broken and I don't have a microphone like that. Of course, you can't see any earphones in right now, so hopefully audio is okay. Let me know in the comment section, guys, if it is okay. If you would please, anyway. Of course, if I was to put on the stream right now, I would be sounding triple what I sound like right now. We were lucky in the first half where was our midfield. Curtis Jones looked lost. Yeah, he did at times. I would agree with that. I think, look, I thought personally Curtis Jones and Jordan Henderson looked lost, especially when, of course, the front three press missed, and then of course, then you've hopefully got them two to help out, especially Fabinho, because of course Fabinho can't be everywhere, can he, guys? In that aspect of things, I think, look, I don't want to have a go at anyone, especially Jordan Henderson, but it's become an occurring thing. You look at the Madrid game, not Madrid game, sorry, the Milan game. for example, and you look how them 2 goals were conceded, where the 2-8s with both Naby Keita and Jordan Henderson, they didn't do their job. They didn't protect Fabinho. They didn't protect the midfield line, and we ended up conceding it. Exactly the same happened in that first half, where both of them looked fatigued and didn't protect that that midfield line. They got of course, we all know what Man City are going to try and do. They're going to try and play through the middle. They're going to try and break teams right down the spine. And they couldn't do it down the spine, but they could do it, of course, on the wings with of course, Phil Foden practically nearly getting James Milner sent off, which of course we will talk about that because I know there's a certain salty Man City fans that are just fuming over it. And look, I just laugh about it. If I'm being perfectly honest, though, Gary, audio is grand. Thank you, Gary, as well. But look, Liverpool, they came and unscathed from it, and Jurgen Klopp really had a job on his hands to get this Liverpool team into some sort of shape, because practically the first half was well, we already discussed the first 15 minutes were fine and really good for Liverpool, but then the rest of it was just shocking. And I think, look, Liverpool need to do a lot better, especially in situations like that. But Jurgen Klopp, fair play to the lad. We don't. I know we give him. We love him. And that being Liverpool fans, but for me, I think he did excellent in terms of getting those troops back in there, getting Liverpool then looking like the energetic selves that they did. It looked like a new team. It's like if Jurgen was like, okay, we'll bin these and then we'll bring out the new guys, and that's what I felt it was in the second half. I thought Liverpool regenerized. I thought Liverpool looked like themselves again, and come out the blocks in the second half. Jota as well. He looked fantastic for the first 10 minutes in the second half. Mane, Salah, Hendo, Curtis Jones as well was working himself into the game. And look, I thought they all did fantastic, in that second half. And look, we'll speak about, of course, about certain individuals and certain individual bits anyway. But I want to quickly, take a quick look at the stats for the game. Of course, if you guys are wondering, this website, it's FootMob. I do fully recommend it. We're not sponsored, even though I wish we would anyway. Of course, you can see the other results on the left hand side, but of course, Mohamed Salah's goal that we will talk about in a moment. But they are the stats for the game, and you look at it, Liverpool, up on XG, if you can, believe and relive XG anyway. But yeah, 6 shots to 12. Most of their shots did come in the first half. I think they only had about 3 shots in the second half, and 2 of them were goals, which is really frustrating when you think about it. But of course, Liverpool big 2 big chances which we scored. To City's 1 big chance, of course, their second goal coming off a deflection off Joel Matip. We will talk about that because I think we were a bit unlucky in that terms, but you look at it, second XG to first half XG, Liverpool practically nothing in that first half, with City constantly on it. But you look at that second half, you could just tell the 2 scales of the game. For me personally, I thought Liverpool were massively better in that second half, and I thought as the game was going on, Liverpool were becoming better and better and better. I think once that second goal went in, I think then it was like, okay, we'll have a little bit of a go. And then when it didn't work, it was like, okay, we'll get the point, just in case nothing, we don't get anything from the game, because I think that would have been even worse, if Liverpool didn't get anything from that. Anyway, but of course, the first goal, I'm just going to talk about him because I think he deserves it. And look, I had this conversation with a City fan actually on Twitter about it, not this game, but it was a couple of weeks ago. And yeah, Mo Salah is the best footballer in world football right now. Would you believe it, guys? Mo Salah is the best footballer in world football. I want this clip, by the way. I want it clipped. I want it everywhere. Mohamed Salah is the best player in the world, in my opinion. And for me, I don't even think it's close right now. The creativity for Sadio Mane's goal was next level. It was sublime. It was fantastic. Of course, the finish as well from Sadio Mane. Look, Mane's had his critics over the last 18 months. Plenty of Liverpool fans on that plenty of non-Liverpool fans. But again, just shows up, scores a goal, and what a goal it was as well, and what player was from Mo Salah in that aspect. But as well, his goal in particular, oh my God. I think Jurgen said it perfectly after the game. If Ronaldo or Messi had scored this, we'd be speaking about it all over the world. Because Mohamed Salah has scored it, it sadly won't get talked about it. Mo Salah, he's on another level, guys. And I don't care what anyone says. Mohamed Salah is the best footballer in world football right now. He can score goals, he's got assist, power, pace, everything you want in a forward. Mohamed Salah has it, and he's proving it time in, time out, year in, year out, and he keeps on getting so disrespected by either mainstream media, rival fans, even no, I wouldn't say our own fans, because I think our own fans know now that Mo Salah is our best player. And for me, like, well, it came out before the game, didn't it? That Liverpool and the contract situation, nothing's been sorted out yet. Liverpool look to hope to get it done by the winter, which is, fantastic news. But, whoever they, Jurgen, you sorted out Hendo's contracts, you sorted out, a few other things as well. Sort out Mohamed Salah's contract, because if Liverpool lost Mo Salah, who knows what would happen. But for me, Mo Salah is the best forward in the world, best player in the world at the moment. And look, it's just a crying shame that his goal, it wasn't a winning goal. Remember back to the Spurs game, a couple of years ago, where he scored, a very similar goal, you would say, and it got cancelled out by, I think it was like a Harry Kane penalty, wasn't it? And it just feels like the same. It just feels so, so gutting for him and, for all of us, of course, for us not getting the win. But it just feels so, so, gutting in the sense, because it was such a good goal. And for me, you just, goals like those wins you games, doesn't it? And I think that would have been so, so perfect for us to be able to, write about it, do videos on it if Mo Salah had won, scored the winning goal by that. But, looking at it, you would say probably a draw was the best result. I personally think first half City should have scored in that. I think as well, Liverpool, I thought we were miles the better team in the second half. Would I say we battered City? No, I wouldn't say we did, but I would say we was, you saw the stats there on XG alone. For me, I thought, we were miles better than City. And look, is a draw a fair result overall? Yes, probably. But, this whole joint man of the match bullshit from, excuse, me saying that, but, sorry for PG watchers, but just Gary Neville, right? I hate Gary Neville in football. I hate him. I hate him in commentary. So stupid. Like joint man. I get Phil Foden was good, but Mo Salah was better. In that. So I don't know. But either way, Gary says, I thought the Ox would have pinned City back in the last 10 minutes. Yeah, could have done. Even Naby could have come on and maybe had a go. But I think Jurgen was like, I think once then that second goal went in, he was like, okay, we'll just, play out for the draw here. Because if we go for the win, we could end up losing all points. Anyway, Arthur says, I'm good, Mark, thanks. Aged 10 years watching Liverpool's first half. I think all of us did, mate. Oh, yeah, not healthy being a Liverpool fan. Gary says, facts Connor better than Ronaldo. Mate, he's better than everyone at the minute. Mo Salah. Mane near his 100th goal too. Yeah, he's only one away now from 100 Premier League goals, so that would be fantastic when he does finally get it. Salah's the best in the world, best in world football at the Mo Defo. Yeah, he is. Mark says, yeah, and showed it tonight. Yeah, he is. And I don't give a shit who he isn't. Sorry for the swearing, guys. I'm very, very hyped up tonight. The game got me revved up, and I haven't calmed down yet. But Salah, man of the match. Well, to be fair, guys, let me know your man of the match shouts. For me personally, first half it was Alisson Becker, because I thought he kept us in the game tremendously well in that aspect of things. Kept Phil Foden out, and let's be honest, Phil Foden for me tonight was superb tonight for City. Thought he was their best player without a shadow of a doubt. Was he better than Mo Salah? No. not in my opinion. I thought Mo was fantastic tonight. But yeah, man of the match shout, guys. But for me personally, I would have said Mo Salah. Overall, first half would have gone with Ali Becker, but I think Mo Salah, especially second half performance, was outrageously good. And for me, I think he does deserve man of the match. Anyway, Gary says Liverpool will be in a 3-horse title race. Connor, yep, that is very, very true. Well, if we quickly take a look, if I quickly get the table up for you guys, of course, it is on this. There we go. Right, so if you have a quick look at the table, it is on the right-hand side. Sorry, it's so small, guys. But if you look at it, Chelsea on 16 points, us on 15 points, and City on 14 points. Chelsea scoring 15, conceding 3. We've scored 17 but conceded 6. And then, of course, City only conceding 3 but scoring 14. It's going to be tight this year. It's going to be so, so tight. It would not surprise me if we had 2 teams on top 80s and 1 team on 90. And I think Liverpool are going to be that team. I said, I did say something before the game actually to Jack, Jack McAlefsey, we were speaking before the game, and I did say something a bit mad. I said if Liverpool won this game, it would then give us, confidence then moving on for, the next, period of the season, because of course now there is a gap in the Premier League. Of course, international breaks, it looks like we're going to be without, we could end up being without Sadio Mane, Fabinho and Ali Becker, even though all of them are double vaccinated. So yeah, it's a little bit gutting if that is true. Hopefully things can be resumed, in the next 2 weeks. I don't think so. I don't think they will be resumed, which will mean that they will miss Watford. Coming back, of course, Watford sacked their manager today, which was not even a shock, I don't think. I think it was pretty much normal. And the fact is as well, the last time Watford sacked their manager, they ended up playing very, very well against Liverpool. So fingers crossed that hasn't happened in 2 weeks' time. I think top 4 will be the top 4 now, but what order, don't know. I think it will be Liverpool's, Chelsea, City, and United. That's my top 4. I think Liverpool win the league. That's going to get clipped and people are just going to laugh. It will go down to goals scored. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be very, very tight this season. And look, it's going to be very, very telling. I think games like the games against Chelsea and games like today, if Liverpool had won both, you look at it and go, like Liverpool would be favourites then, in my opinion, for the title. You look at it, well, then 4 points, we would have been 19 points out of 21. You look at it and go, that's pretty, pretty confident then, you would say. Even the Brentford game, we could have won that if we shut up shop. And look, even City's second goal, we were a bit unlucky on that because, of course, who did score Chelsea, not Chelsea, Man City's second goal? To be fair, I've forgotten. I've completely forgotten who scored their second goal. Was it Kevin De Bruyne? Yeah, Kevin De Bruyne. To be fair, I think as well, he looked massively off it, didn't he, today, guys, Kevin De Bruyne. But you look at it and you go, if it wasn't deflected, because the way it was going, 2 things would have happened. A, Ali looked like he was going to save it. And B, Raheem Sterling was in an offside position in front of Alisson Becker. But because it was the deflection, nothing happened in terms of checking for interference, which, of course, it didn't happen because of the deflection anyway. But, it is a bit gutting after, of course, that Mo Salah goal that we spoke about. But, look, still on the positive thing about it, I would say, is that we haven't dropped. Of course, we've dropped points, but we haven't lost. We're still undefeated. The Reds have got no money, but we're still going to win the league. That's another thing. But the other thing as well, we've come up now against, we've come up against Chelsea, we've come up against, Man City, and we haven't lost, and we've looked like the better team towards the end in both. In the Chelsea game, I thought we were the better team throughout the game, and then again, of course, tonight's game, first half, shocking. Second half, miles better than City. The next test then, of course, will be the games coming up. Of course, we've got Champions League coming up as well. I think we've got back-to-back Atletico games. Of course, like we said, that those players that could potentially miss Watford will miss Atletico as well. We've got Man United coming up as well. I think that's away from Anfield as well. So if we can get 3 points there, and of course get 3 points against Watford, it'd be very, very positive. But of course, we have to go out game by game now after the international break. And why does there have to be an international break? I hate international breaks, for God's sake. Mark says, I think it's a good question, and have said that before. What did I say, Mark, about that? I think it's a good question. Have said that before. I don't know what I said. Come off Matip. Yeah, it did come off Matip. It was unlucky though, because to be fair to Matip, he tries to block it with his leg, doesn't he? And it doesn't kind of work. So it is a bit unlucky. But look, it's football. That's how it works. Really struggled first half, like we used to do. Yeah, I would agree. Like especially like I said, the last 30 minutes of our first half was. Oh, and then goal difference. Okay, Mark. Yeah, it could very well come down to goal difference, but it's that again, isn't it? Where I do think it's between us, Chelsea, and City with the title. I don't think Man United have any hope in it, especially with McFred still being their CDM for the season. Like you look at it, and Liverpool. And look, Liverpool, people will go on about Liverpool and this and that. Liverpool on the side of it in terms of squad shouldn't be anywhere near the Premier League title. We shouldn't even be in the conversation. Our first 14, 16, yes, it should, but not the rest. Like the whole squad, and the fact that Jurgen Klopp is getting the best out of this squad. What is it? Point off top of the league and so forth. It's the fact that when Jurgen Klopp does unfortunately leave Liverpool in the future, we'll look back at this time and cherish it because he's doing fantastic with this squad. Look at him in the second half. And I think if you watch the Sky Sports interviews as well, what Jurgen had to say about it, going into depth tactically. You never hear Jurgen really speaking tactically about things, and he just does, and it's a real fresh insight to what Jurgen Klopp, does. Because realistically, any other time, and any other manager, we lose that game 4-0. Just from that first half. Sorry, and look, it's where the fact that we've come back and we should have won the game. It's really, really telling. We should really, really be positive with the squad, I think, as well. And Jurgen, of course. But Chris is in. Hello, Chris. Hope you're having a fantastic day, mate. Says, end of the day, we didn't play well and still got a 2-2 draw, even when leading twice. We were sloppy. I think City should kick themselves. More emotes. Salah goal, though. As well. Yeah, mate, it was absolutely fantastic, wasn't it? And yeah, Mo Salah, like I said, mate, best player in the world at the moment, in my opinion. Thank you from Barbados. Really wanted a win for our Reds. Yeah, we'll call on. Yeah, Ron, hello. Hope you're having a fantastic day. And yeah, it was gutting, wasn't it, after Mo's goal? Watford will be another tough game. I'd start Bobby in the next game. To be honest, Gary, I wouldn't be surprised if you saw the front four if Mane's available. If Mane's not available, then of course it'll probably be Jota, Bobby, and Mo for the games. But fingers crossed anyway, because I think Thiago will hopefully be back for Watford, and Trent as well. I do think as well if Trent was there today, I think we would have won that game as well. Especially the second half. But I thought James Milner did a fantastic job. And to be fair, we didn't really talk about James Milner. And look, should there have been a red card? The referee thought not. And I absolutely agree with Premier League referees. I don't really. But was it a red card? Yeah, meh. I don't think it is because, okay, the first tackle's the first tackle. But like, if you go on Twitter and just see the Man City fans go on it, you actually look at it. Jordan Henderson is the one that goes for Ronaldo Silva, and James Milner. Okay, his leg is there, But of course, Hendo makes the first contact. So and the foul was actually given for Jordan Henderson, not James Milner. So make up your mind. You've got your own mind. You've got your own wills. Was it a yellow card? Was it a red card in general? Who knows? Who gives a shit? I don't. But no, it would be interesting to see what you guys think in the comments. So guys, do let me know in the comment section down below. What else do we have? Dave's in. Hello, Dave. Says poor first half, a bit better in the second half. Only a bit. 2-2. I will take it. Yeah, absolutely, mate. And look, I think before the game, I think all of us would have taken the win. I think all of us would have wanted the win. I think looking at the situation, I think all of us are pretty okay with the draw. But it is a bit gutting, like I did say about Mo's goal. Being an absolute blast. Would have had Gomez on the right. I did see some people saying Kostas Tsimikas. They wanted to see it right back. I don't think he's ever played right back. I'm trying to think. Has he ever played? I don't think he has ever played right back in his career. So, it would be a bit hard. But yeah, Joey Gomez, I think if Trent is still out for Watford, I think probably Joe Gomez will start at right back for Watford anyway in 2 weeks' time. Liverpool must win, says Gary. Yeah, fingers crossed anyway. But, look, at the end of the day, I'm going to give man of the match to Mohamed Salah. Thought he was fantastic, of course. Fantastic goal anyway in that second half. But look, a point is a good point against, a very good Manchester City side. Look, I would have loved to destroy them. Loved seeing Pep Guardiola getting furious on the touchline. It was absolutely fantastic. Especially when it's going to be created into a meme when he was shouting about James Milner's red card. It was fucking fantastic. But look, it is what it is. Do I think Liverpool deserved to win more and more as the second half was going on? Yes, I did. But we'll take it anyway. But Jackson's a highlight. We go again. Big point after that game. Yeah, I know Jack was very, very fuming after that first half. Salah got goal of the season. Yeah, it will go down goal of the season. How are you? Jack Max says Mark as well. City where bunch of for God's sake, Gary. Mark, as usual, went on. Yeah, that is true. Mark and David, I think a draw was about right, lads. Yeah, I did say a bit earlier that looking at the game as a whole, like I said, I think it was surprising that City didn't score in that first half. Which like I said, I think Ali, Virgil, and Joel, I thought they did fantastic in keeping that at 0-0. Especially Ali. So for me, a draw is fair, but I think it's just a little bit gutting, isn't it, that we didn't get the 3 points. Pep lost it on the touchline second half. He did. I thought, to be fair, I thought he got sent off at one point because he was absolutely fuming, wasn't he? At one stage, and it was absolutely hilarious to watch. So I'm happy to see that anyway. But yeah, guys, fingers crossed. Anyway, we can come back with a bounce against Watford. Anyway, well, before we do head off, the Fab's chance near the end. Yeah, we didn't speak about that. Fabinho. Look, I've seen a couple of people say that he should have just hit it. He should have hit it. For me, there's no chance in hell Fabinho is hitting that first time. And plus, I've seen as well, why is he taking his time? Why is he taking his time? I don't think he did. I think the fact that it's been it's done the frame by frame thing where it's not, played in a whole image. I think Rodri does fantastically well to get back. And I do think as well, look, it was it was the fact that it could have been the winner as well. I think that's why people are so frustrated by it. But look, Fabinho, I don't think he could have done much better in that situation. Anyway, Mark says glad Klopp gave them a token at half time. Yeah, absolutely, mate. I think if he didn't, we would have lost that game for sure. Pep losing his head is partly the realization of what football fans are and what it means to fill a stadium. Yeah, exactly. To be fair, mate, that's a very good point because I think if there isn't a crowd there, City would have won that game today, for sure. Gary says, Jack, did you get those tissues when Salah scored for God's sake, Gary? Keep it PG, man, even though I've sworn a couple of times in this video anyway. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to the post-match reaction. We have been going about half an hour, so we've kept it a little bit longer today anyway. But sorry there haven't been any uploads as well. Was planning to do a match preview show, but sadly, just didn't get around to it. I do very much apologise for that. We will try and do some things in the international break. We might speak about a couple of transfers, and we might talk about this game more in depth with a few of the lads, and as well. Well, of course, we'll be back after the international break as well. Hopefully, we'll match preview shows, and hopefully with match reactions or post-match reactions and a few other things as well. But guys, have a fantastic rest of your evening. Let's read a few more comments before we do leave. Jack with the ha 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 ha. We all know what Jack's up to with it. On to the next game, of course, it is again Watford after the international break. Fingers crossed, and they will be back before then. And love you, Connor. Thank you so much, guys, for the love and support. If you could, please hit that share button. We very much appreciate it. If you could also hit that like button as well. Be very much appreciated to help out the algorithm, because of course YouTube is very annoying in that aspect of things. And also as well, if you're new to the Cup Council and viewing us for the first time, then please hit that subscribe button as well. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Fingers crossed, we'll see you all again. And yeah, I guess we take the draw and we take Pep Guardiola fuming on the touchline because absolutely hilarious. And I can't wait for the memes tomorrow as well for that anyway. But guys, please stay safe as well, and you never walk alone. Drugs.